start with arrays. Generally, arrays are fixed size. We can store multiple values with the same data type. As of now, we saw only we can store single values, right? If you're defining integer, you can store only single number. Suppose I want to store multiple numbers. Okay, here we have array. Like this, we can define. This is the symbol for array where I can store multiple values. 101, 102, 103, 104, like this. Okay. Suppose any school is there, they want to enroll, right? They want to store roll numbers. They are going to use array where they can store multiple students' roll numbers. Based on the requirement, they are going to define the respective arrays. Suppose if you want to store student names, student, like this, where we can store Ravi. Roja Sriram. Then Praveen. These are the student details. Okay, where you can store multiple values at same type. If you try to, okay, I will show you. Right click, new class file. Here we are going to define array underscore exam. But here it is asking package name. I will give org dot capgemini dot array exam. Then select the main method and click finish. Okay, at a time it created package name as well as class name. This option also available. Okay, just go through video. Okay, first time, right? Whenever you are practicing, just go watch video and try to implement same. Then next time onwards, try to practice without seeing the video. You need to practice 2 times. One is seeing video, then second time without seeing video. Then only you can able to understand the concepts. Okay. Here I want to store two ways we can define arrays. One is this one in numbers equal to directly we can give the values 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, like this. Another way I'm going to define into numbers equal to new integer. Here I am going to define how many numbers I want to store, like this. This is one way to define the integer array. This is another way to define the integer array. Here directly I am assigning the values here. Here I am saying I can store 5 values. It is going to start with 0th index, right? Int, already we declared numbers, right? Numbers of 0 equal to 101, like this. Because it is going to start with index 0. Always string and arrays are starting with index 0. You need to define, okay, in index 0, what is the value you want to store. Numbers of 2. Why we are going to use arrays? Where we can store multiple values with the same data type. As of now, up to yesterday class, we saw only single value we can store by defining integer, by defining double. Now, arrays are used to store the multiple values. But these are fixed size. Okay. If you declare 5, right, you can store only 5 values. We are starting with 0th index and ending with 4th index because you can store only 5 values. Okay. Suppose if you are new to coding, I will show you what is the exception you will get. By using for loop, I am going to print the values from integer array. Here I am going to give int I equal to 0 because it is going to start with index 0. I less than numbers dot length. This is the method we have in array. But if you see string, right, for string we are going to define like this. Don't get confused. This is method belongs to string. This method belongs to array. Then I plus plus. Here I am going to print the values. But arrays, right, you need to define the respective variable, what we are going to have here. Then I am going to give I value. Okay, we need to represent this because here we declared numbers, right? Numbers of I. Right click, run as Java application. It will print the same value. See, suppose here I am declaring 10 values, but assigning only 5 values. Let's see what will happen. Right click, run as Java application. See, because we assigned only 5 values, right? Whatever we are assigning, it is printing from 0 to next to 4. Remaining 5 values, system is assigning default value. For integer, default value is 0. That's why system is assigning remaining 5 values. Okay, in middle, suppose if you are not assigning any value to the 2. Let me comment this. Chat. Now see, right click, run as Java application. See, if you are not assigning any value, it will assign, system will assign default value 0. Okay, whenever you are declaring integer, you can store only integer values. If you try to store decimal values, what will happen? It will throw exception because type mismatch cannot convert from double to integer. You can store only integer values. Here also same. If you try to add any different numbers like double, it will throw exception because it will accept only integer whole numbers. Then if you are suppose 0th number, I am going to replace with another number of 0 equal to 105. Okay, the student he got relieved from the school. Then I am going to assign new value, new roll number to the new student. See what will happen? 0th number it is assigning 6 because this it will write override. Okay, old value it will forget. It will override the new value. Okay, got it? Any doubts? Because in this integer array, in most of the interview questions, they will ask you programs from integer array. Can you please define one integer array and print the largest number, second largest number, like that. At least you need to know how to define integer array, then how to iterate numbers from integer array. Okay. This is one type to declare integer array. This is another type to declare array. Here directly I am assigning values. Always it is fixed size. We can't change the values. Once if you are defining, it is fixed size. Okay. Then same way. String array. Suppose if you want to store any string names equal to, I'm going to add multiple values. Then another string I'm going to define string fruits equal to new string. Whenever you are declaring string array, it will store only string variables. You can't store any other variables, any other data type. It will take only string, double quotes. If you try to add any number, it will throw exception because it won't accept. But if you try to give like this, yes, it will accept because it will treat as string only whenever you are declaring inside double quotes. Fruits we have here, just I declared the integer array. Now I am going to assign the value. I am going to start with 0th index equal to, I will give apple. Here, let me copy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose I am going to define like this 101, whether it will accept or not. Let's see. Grape, kiwi, pineapple. Okay, I declared with capacity 10. It will, we can store 10 fruits, but I am going to assign only 6 fruits. Then by using for loop, I am going to print each and every fruit int I equal to 0 because it is going to start with 0th index I less than fruits dot length. Then I plus plus. Finally, we are going to print the fruits I like this. Now we assigned only 6 values, right? System will assign default values remaining null. See, and also if you notice one thing, right? Whatever order we are adding, it is printing same order. First, if we are adding apple, yeah, printing apple, banana, grape. Same order, it will maintain the insertion order. Okay, array will maintain insertion order. Whatever we are giving in double quotes, it is printing. This is not numeric value. If you try to give numeric value, it will throw exception, compilation error. Okay, suppose I am new to coding. I don't know. I thought that okay, from 1 to 10, I am going to assign values. Fruits of 10 equal to mm, okay. Now see what will happen. Right click, run as Java application. See, it is throwing exception because array index out of bound exception. Index 10 out of bounds for length because we declared 10, but it is going to start with 0 to 9. It will take only 0 to 9. If you try to give any value, it will throw exception. Up to 9, you need to start with 0, then you can, it is going to end with 9. Run as Java application. See, initially we are not going to assign any value. That's why system assigned null in 0th index. Next we assigned banana, grape, kiwi, pineapple 101 like this. Okay. Any doubts? Because in interview, right, they will surely ask you in string array which word is having more length. I want to print that more characters string. Okay. Then they will ask you, Ravi, how many times repeated here? Okay. Array also important concept for us. If you try to assign in 0th index we have apple. If I'm going to assign this to whether it will allow duplicate, let's see. Right click, run as Java application. See, it is printing kiwi 2 times. Yes, it will allow duplicate values. Kiwi, kiwi. Got it? Any doubts here? Sometimes what will happen, right? If you are going to store multiple values, like human being is there, like object human. Now, by using object array, whenever you are defining object, we can store string, uh, integer, character, true. Any value you can assign. There is no exception. See, there is no exception because whenever you are defining object, right? Object class object is the root class hierarchy. Okay, object is a super class for all classes. That's why we can define any data type. There is no exception. Sometimes where we need to add different data type, there we are going to use object array. Okay, but mostly we are not going to use this object. Just for your reference, I am saying this is one-dimensional array. Mostly we'll get interview questions on this one-dimensional array. Okay. Now, for all topics, we'll try to do some programs. Okay. For loop, okay, string. Then we have arrays, right? We'll try to complete some programs because in most of the interviews they will ask you. Suppose they will ask you in interview. So I want to know even numbers. Can you please print even numbers? Java program. I will give this as here we are going to give Capgemini dot. At least okay, if they are asking two programs, right? Try to define. Okay, if you don't know concept, at least try to define what is integer array. Then how try to write for loop. Okay, that will be good. At least you are trying to write the program. Okay, if you don't know still, okay, try to write that logic. That's it. See, this Java program, obviously, it is typical, okay? Based on interviewer, they will ask different questions. Here, mm, print even numbers. Okay. Then my requirement, right? 1 to 100, okay? Int start equal to, or we can give directly by using for loop. Int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 100, I plus plus. Now, we got logic to print 1 to 100. It will print output as 1 to 100. This one already we saw, right? How to print 1 to 100. It is printing 1 to 100. From this, I want to know what are the even numbers. From this, 1 to 100. For this, I need to write logic. If I percentage 2 equal to 0, then it is a even number. See, I will show you debug, okay? How to debug this. Here I am adding the breakpoint. See, wherever I want to see, right, I'm going to add breakpoint. Okay, now I'm going to execute in debug mode. Debug as Java application. It will ask you, okay, whether open this particular debug mode. Yes, you need to give allow access. Then it is asking to launch in debug perspective. Switch. See here, now it is not executing. It stopped here in this line because I added the breakpoint. Now here we have options enabled. In debug one mode only, we are going to see this. See, this button is there. Then resume, step over, step into. Okay, these are the options we have. Okay, now what I'm going to do, step info is there, step over is there. I want to move further. Okay, here I'm going to check. I value 1, right? 1 percentile 2 equal to 0. Okay, see, nothing printed. It went to for loop 2 percentile 2 equal to 0. Then it is a even number. See, it is changing. I am clicking this step over. Then it is checking for number 3, not even number. Number 4 is even. That's why it is printing. 5 percentile 2 equal to 0. No. 6. See, it will execute up to 100. It will keep on execute like this. It will check each and every number. For loop will be executed like this. If it is not equal to 0, it is not going to print anything in console. If it is equal to 0, then only it is going to print in console. Like this, it is going to print up to 100. It will check each and every number. 1 percentile 2 equal to 0, 2 percentile 2 equal to 0. Like that, up to 100, it is going to say. Got it? Like this, we can execute in debug mode for our understanding. Up to 100, it is going to print. If you see in console, it is keep on printing the only even numbers it is printing. Our requirements, see, now it got stopped. Here right side you can see now this debug mode is enabled. Now I want to go back to the Java mode like this. You can see the left side package explorer. Console you can see these are the numbers it printed. You need to know how to debug as well, where you need to keep the breakpoints. Okay, whenever your test scripts are getting failed, you can just double click. That's it. If you want to remove, same, remove the debug point. Then right click, run as Java application. It will give the same output. In debug mode, it is going to be in detail one. Same thing I want to check for odd numbers. Print odd numbers. Right click, new. Based on interviewer, okay, he will ask sometimes to print prime numbers as well, even number, odd number, based on his requirement. Okay, you can't even expect. Okay, they will ask this kind of questions. Print odd numbers. Same, I am going to use for loop. I am going to print int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to 100, I plus plus. It will print 1 to 100. From this 100, I want to print even numbers. For that, I am writing the if condition. If I percentile not equal to 0. Earlier we used equal to, right? Now we are using not equal to. Okay. If you are using I percentile to equal to 0, then it will print even numbers. Now we need to print odd numbers from 1 to 100. Here, see, right click. If you want to run in debug mode, you can just add the breakpoints uh, here. Okay. Right click, debug as Java application. It will ask you to switch. Yes, I want to switch. Then step over 1. Then now it is printing odd numbers. See, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. Same logic, just we are using not equal. That's it. If you are using equal, then it will print even numbers. If you are using not equal, it will print odd numbers. Like if you want to see, here you can see what are the expressions. If you want to add any expressions, you can add here. Okay. Like this, we are going to print the. Suppose if you don't want to run, then you can terminate this like this. Then we are going to switch to the normal one. This is this. See, now it is enabled debug. Now I am switching back to the normal Java mode. Now run as Java application. It will print the all odd numbers from 1 to 100. Okay, got it? Sometimes they will ask you to print stars as well. Okay, I want to print stars in pyramid shape or basic star you want to print. For that, we need to use for loops as well. They will give you to print the pyramid. Uh, Let it be. Let's create new class print pattern example. But if you don't know, you don't want to try, right? Just don't spend much time. Okay, try to use two for loops here. Okay, if you don't know logic, just inform them. Can we proceed with another question? I need to recollect this logic. I'm unable to recollect the logic. Like that, you can say for. Okay, here we are going to use two for loops to print with patterns. Always you need to print the patterns in using two loops, 5 rows. Okay, here int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to rows I plus plus. Otherwise, do one thing. Okay, you just remember this logic. If they are asking any pattern, you just try to write this. At least you can print some pattern here, because these patterns are typical. Some people they will ask you to print in diamond. Otherwise, your name is there, right? Your name you need to print in diamond. Okay, they will ask different questions. First will be system.out.print. Always it will be in print because we are going to print in same line. This is the star. After this first for loop, I am going to give some space. Now, right click, run as Java application. See, it is printing 5 stars. First row it is printing 1 star, then 2, 3, 4, 5. Then they will ask you to print triangle or in reverse order. Okay, just try to print same thing. Okay, whatever. Sometimes if you don't know, right, then try to print the same. Then they will ask you to print prime number, Fibonacci series as well. Then suppose how to reverse this string, okay? Sometimes they will ask you how to reverse this string. New class reverse string. Suppose I am taking one string as selenium. We have predefined methods as well, but for reversing, but they will ask you don't use predefined methods. Try to use any logic, okay? Then we can define another variable where it will be reverse equal to nothing. Then by using for loop, int I equal to name dot length minus 1, because we need to print in reverse order, right? We are going to check the length of the particular string, then I greater than or equal to 0, because here length will be how much? 8 characters. Length minus 1, 7. 7 greater than or equal to 0, then it is going to print in minus. Now we are going to add that particular character plus name dot char at I. Finally, we are going to print the reverse because we need to print the reversed string, right? Like this. Where is the zoom meeting? Okay, 3 minutes is there. Now, try to run in debug mode, okay? Now we don't want this. Add right click, debug as Java application. It will ask you switch. Okay, now if you see name reverse, these are the values. Now try to see. Oh, it will get confused. I value is 7. Okay, in character seventh index, what is the character we have? M, right? Now it is going to add this particular M to reverse. See, now reverse we have M. It is highlighting in yellow color. Then 6. 6, what is the one? U is the sixth character. See, fifth is I. Fourth is M. Like this, it is going to add each and every character to the reverse. Then finally, it will come out from the loop and it will print the reverse string. See, earlier M was starting, now it is ending, now it is changed to starting. We are reversing this string. If you want, you can add automation. Same, right click. Before that, try to stop this. Go back to the Java mode. Right click, run as Java application. See, it is reversing entire string. Sometimes some people they will ask you, okay, don't change this order. See, initially we have Selenium, right? Here we got automation. Don't change this order, okay? As it is, you need to reverse these words without changing the order. They will ask different clauses, okay? But it is impossible to remember all logics. I will give you a list, okay? Complete list. What are the possible questions they will ask? At least these are the basic questions you need to know. Nowadays, they will ask, okay? These are the initial string programs you need to understand by using for loop. Okay, try to join the other meeting. Okay, I'm going to end this. Join other meeting.